Hi and welcome. Have you ever had, have you ever had to try to do something you want to do to create the lifestyle you want, or run your business, or whatever it is in your life with your family, your kids, but you just don't seem to have the energy to do it? Hi, I'm Josh Sharp, and today I have with me energy expert Allan Ting. Allan's a specialist in, what does it take to have that energy in our lives to do the things that we want to do? What it really boils down to is energy is everything. If we don't have the energy, we're not going to get up to lose the weight or to get the fitness that we want, to find the relationship, to find the business, all those things. And to boil down to that core, we really need somebody like Allan to kind of give us some tips and some ways that we can improve our energy and our health. So first off, just thanks, Allan. Thank you for being here, and look forward to really hearing some cool stuff from you today. How are you doing?
Doing well, John. Thank you. And it's a great day to be alive and out of bed.
It is. It is a great day to be alive. I, I couldn't resist being outside today. It's gorgeous. I know the light's all kind of funny, but I just don't care. It's beautiful out. It's a nice day in Southern California. So so first off, just tell us a little bit about why energy. What brought you to this path, and how did you begin seeking these things in your life to learn these disciplines?
Yes, because energy, it's what it's all about. If you think about it, if you have low energy, where would you be at the beginning of the day? What about during the middle of the day when you're at work, especially 2 o'clock when that chicken's kicking in and you're sitting by your desk, you're like just nodding your head?
Right. The food
How
coma.
about, exactly, the food coma, right? How about when you come back home and you have low energy, and that's when your family needs you the most? Right?
Hmm.
12 years ago, I suffered from chronic fatigue syndrome. No matter how much I slept, I was in bed for over 6 months. I was still perpetually tired. Um, I tried everything. I tried changing my diet. I became a vegetarian for 6 months. I worked out. I ran. I kickboxed. I bicycled. It peaked my energy up, but just to bring my energy back down. So I was throughout the day, I was going up and down, up and down, up and down. At the time, I don't eat any sugar. I don't eat a whole lot of carbs. I stay away from all that packaging food. But my energy was still like this, and I couldn't figure out why. It wasn't until I started studying neuroscience, Tai Chi and Qigong and yoga, and when I put everything together, bam, like everything skyrocketed. And
Wow.
since then, I've been teaching my instant energy method at large company like HP, Amazon, eBay, Microsoft, Motorola, Tony Robbins live retreats, Brendan Burchard live retreats, and all my students said, "Oh my God, Allan, this is amazing. I can peak their energy up or sustain that, be at that sustainable level throughout the day, and a lot of time it only takes 5 minutes." One of the gal who owns her small business, she needs 2 cups of coffee every morning to get herself awake, to get her moving. And during that day, she didn't drink any coffee. And at the end of the day, she's like, "Oh my God, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I haven't eaten coffee, and I still have this abundant energy." The fact is that we can create our own energy internally, but most people don't know that.
Hmm.
And I'm very honored to be on this part of the segment to teach people how to get your energy up naturally.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, let's kind of talk a little bit about the dangers of not having the energy. I know we talked before, and you mentioned you were homeless at one point. Could you kind of talk to a little bit about that? Was that because of this?
Yes, absolutely. So what happened was, if you guys are in a Bay Area, especially in the Silicon Valley, back in 2001, we experienced what's called the dot bomb. All the startup company, everything fell, everything crashes, doors were closing left and right. I was in that, and I was laid off. Like, when I got into the company, I started for about a year. I get laid off. I started another company. I started for 6 months, closed doors. It just over and over. Throughout the entire period, I probably got laid off like 5 times. So by 2001, I was exhausted. I was burned out, and I gained like 50 pounds.
Wow.
I gained 50 pounds. I was stressed out. My girlfriend left me, who I was dating for 4 years. And on top of that, I support my mom and dad. If you guys ever live in San Francisco, you guys will probably know what an in-law unit is. If you guys don't know what that is, basically they converted a garage into a living quarter.
Hmm.
So every day my landlord would come back in with his, diesel Mercedes Benz, and we have to close all of our doors so we don't get, we don't breathe in the diesel exhaust. That's how bad it
Oh,
was.
wow.
And my room was literally like 300 square feet, and I had this big pipe, this water pipe. Every time I go in, I have to duck my head and duck my head out, and I'm 6 foot tall.
Wow.
So we're in a really bad place. Obviously, I got laid off. I had no income. I was unemployed. I couldn't. We're struggling. I mean, we're happy we have a roof over our head and we have meal on our table, but that's it. I don't have any extra money other than that. And pretty soon, my unemployment insurance was about to run out. At the time, I was watching this. I was watching an infomercial, and this very tall guy with his big teeth came on, Tony Robbins, and started
You need
talking
more of
about
those
get
moments.
yeah, and said, you need to buy Get the Edge. It's going to totally transform your life. I'm like, yeah, Tony, like $400. That's pretty much what's left in my bank account right now. You want me to spend $400? All right, I'm
Right.
convinced. I got 30 days. If your stuff doesn't work, I'm going to return it. So I bought it, listened to it, and it made a transformation in my life. I started taking
Wow.
action. If those of you who are Tony grads out there, and actually those of you who haven't done any Tony courses, Josh and I don't get paid on this. If you haven't seen them, you got to, okay? Especially if you're in a transition life right now in your life. So I took his course. I listened to it. I did exactly what he did, and my entire life just shifted. The only piece I was missing was the energy part.
Mm.
How do you make it long lasting? How do you make it sustaining? Because it peaked my energy, again, just to bring it back down.
Right.
So I went out, I started looking for a job, and I got hired at the one of the top fastest growing company in Silicon Valley. We work like 12 to 14 hours a day. We get there like 5 in the morning because we worked on East Coast hour time. And if I didn't have energy, and if I don't have the drive, I would get fired because
Right.
we have a quota to meet. We're not able to meet that quota, and I see my friends getting laid off left and right. Just the 6 months I was there, 2 people got laid off because they couldn't do their job because they were tired.
Wow.
So I had to learn how to get my energy up. One day I was riding my bicycle in Golden Gate Park, and I saw these bunch of old people. They're doing these crazy moves really slowly. I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. That's Tai Chi. And as kids, we used to make fun of it. You're like, oh, these were all for old people. And who gets up, as a teenager, who gets up 7 in the morning and go do Tai Chi, right? We all pretty much sleep in. Like, at least I know I do.
Right.
So what the heck? I've gone down this far. I'm gonna just go try it and see what happens. So in the morning, I went ahead and did it. And at the end of the session, I'm like, whoa, I do feel a difference. I feel
Mm.
more peaceful. I feel more serene. My energy's up, and I haven't had any coffee, and that energy lasted all day. The only problem I had was that took an hour and a half.
Right.
In the
It's a
morning
lot of
when I
time
wake up,
commitment.
it's a lot of time commitment, exactly. So when I work in the morning, I don't have an hour and a half, an hour and a half. How do I get my energy up? But that wasn't until, like I mentioned before, I studied this one last thing, neuroscience, and when I combined it together, bam, I found the result. And in a moment here, you guys will experience that. And within 5-10 minutes, you're gonna feel your energy moving. You're gonna feel just your body transform. And it's
Oh,
very
cool.
simple. If you can breathe, you can do the exercises with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely would love to do that stuff. So kind of a long journey there. Definitely that finding those key distinctions and so is it just Tai Chi? Is that kind of the foundation of this, or have you incorporated other elements into how do you do your energy work?
Yeah. So very good point. A couple of things. Number one, Tai Chi took a long time. It's a great exercise. If you guys haven't ever done it, highly recommend it. The only drawback to that, it takes an hour, okay, an hour or
Right.
more. I started studying yoga. Again, you have to wear stretchy clothes, and you have to be in yoga for at least an hour. Most classes are between an hour to an hour and a half, okay, and then on top of that, you get sweaty. Um, during the 12 years that I study, and I travel to all different countries from Bali to Taiwan to China, uh, I studied very different forms of energy work, but it wasn't until I started studying this particular energy work that dated back over 2,000 years, were from my ancestors in China, that I was able to actually physically feel the energy in my body. Before, yeah, I do it, I kind of feel it, but I don't feel that vibration. I don't feel that tingling in my finger. I don't feel that energy bouncing within me. You guys will experience that in a moment, so stick with me. It wasn't until
Okay.
I did that, and plus, I know which things to command to say. Things just starting to happen, and I was able to I was able to get my energy up within 5 minutes.
Wow. Okay. So do you want to do those exercises now, or do you want to wait toward closer to the end? What
Sure,
you're calling that?
let's do that. So what I love to do is have everybody stand up. Okay, if you're
I'm gonna
sitting down,
I'm gonna stay seated. How about that? Because otherwise you're gonna you're gonna have a nice crotch shot of me.
would you be able to put your laptop up?
I could do that. Okay. How about that? I can stand up.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep. All right.
because I love to have your experiences as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so what I like you to do is place both feet on the ground. Okay, if you guys are still sitting down, don't make me come out there and grab you and pull you up. All right?
Hey,
So
I'm
make
doing
sure
it.
you're
I'm standing up.
All right, great. So let's everybody stand up. So bring your feet about shoulders width apart. Good. And I'd like you to do is just start bouncing up and down. Just start shaking. As we start bouncing, I'll talk about the reason why we're doing this. Okay, so those of you who've gone through Life Mastery with Tony, you know exactly what we're doing. Okay, we'll talk more about that. So let's start first. Our circulatory system has a pump. It's called a heart to get our blood moving. Right? If our heart dies, obviously we die because we don't have all the blood going to our head and replenish our lung, our entire organ. What's just as important is our lymphatic system. Okay, if you guys are not familiar with what lymphatic system does, is it's like the garbage man for our body. It gets rid of our waste. It provides nutrients back into our cell. It's really help us to boost our immune system. So most Western doctors, when you ask them about lymphatic system, they don't really know what that is, what it does. Appendix, we don't need it. We'll just cut it. Your thyroid, you don't need it. We'll just cut it. They don't understand these are the major energy points in our body. So when we shake up and down like this, we're compressing our cells ever so slightly. At the same time, we're compressing our lymph system, which does not have a pump. And our lymph system has 3 times more fluid than our blood. Okay, so something as simple as this, just bouncing up and down. And again, those of you gone through Life Mastery before, chances are you guys have been on top of a rebounder, bouncing up and down. Right? The only difference is what you're doing now is this is what I call the high-tech rebounder. Look at your feet. You're doing rebounding, and you're not on a trampoline.
Very nice.
Okay, great. So shake everything out. Shake, shake, shake. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Nice deep breath out. So continue shaking. Can you continue shaking up and down as you breathe? Good. So nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. And the generous and the biggest breath you take in all day. Good. So we're going to slowly come into stillness. Good. Once you're in stillness, what I like you to do is bring your palms together and start rubbing. Okay, rub as if you're like creating some heat, creating some spark in between your fingertips.
I think I've seen this movie.
This is what you will be getting for Christmas, right? Like your little kid. So what I like you to do is go ahead and open up your palms and go like this. Okay, so what do you guys feel in between your palms? Do you feel anything?
Yeah, there's a little kind of, well, it's a little electric, tingly kind of feeling.
Yes. Okay. And some of you might not feel anything. It's okay, because I know you guys are achievers. So I like to. The challenge for you is drop your expectation of feeling anything and just allow your body, allow your fingertips just to explore. Okay. Again, rub our palms. Good. Okay, this time what I'd like you to do is curl your finger just a little bit and start rotating. And then you can bring your fingers closer or wider, so without touching each other. So feel this. Do you feel anything in between your palms?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So this is our energy. The more you practice of this, the more energy you'll feel within your body. Okay. So a lot of people are like, yeah, I don't feel anything, I don't see anything, therefore it does not exist. So I
Hmm.
too asked the same question. When I first started doing Qigong, this is a direct translation, is energy practice or energy mastery, is, I was talking to my teacher, I'm like, I don't feel anything. And she said, Alan, like during fall time when the leaves are blowing behind you, do you see the leaf flying through the air, but you see the wind. Do you see the wind? I don't see the wind. Does that mean
Hmm.
that wind energy does not exist? No,
Right.
it's still there. So the truth is we have our own internal energy. So in a moment, we're going to place this energy into our body and you're going to feel a huge shift. Okay, so go ahead and rub your palms again. So now what I'd like you to do is imagine that you're rubbing and you're fostering, you're creating this healing energy in between your palms. So be like a little kid, like on Christmas Day, you're about to get something. So cultivate that curiosity. And this energy could be any color that you prefer or shape. Just know that this energy is here to heal you. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is go ahead and place the palm in back of in your lower back, so right around your kidney area. So if you guys don't know where the kidney area is trace your ribs at the bottom of your ribs in your lower back. I know it's kind of hard to see. Go ahead and rub that area there. Okay, again, let's bring our palms back.
I feel like I'm Mr. Miyagi from the Karate Kid.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and rub our back again. Okay, do you guys feel your body starting to warm up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sweating now.
So notice we're not like doing cardio exercises. We're not like bench pressing 300 pounds. You feel that heat in your body because this is called thermodynamics. Okay, this is when your energy, your cells starting to move. The reason why we're rubbing against our kidneys is because our kidneys are like the batteries for our body. So this is the best way to charge it up. Okay, so again, let's rub our palms one last time. And you may feel some tingling in your lower back as well. So that's also means that your energy is moving. Or the way I describe it is kind of like little ants crawling on you.
Hmm.
Okay, let's go and rub again. Okay, now shake everything out. Okay, so now gauge your body. Do you feel lighter? Do you
Yes.
feel more open?
Yeah.
Or do you feel more constricted?
No, very balanced, very even keel, grounded, centered.
Okay. Okay. So that took literally less than 5 minutes.
Cool.
All
And
right.
you do this often? You do this every day?
I do this every day. So let's go ahead and sit back down.
Can I sit back down? I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. In Silicon Valley, we have this term is eating our own dog food, right? What that
Uh-huh.
means is what eating dog food means that do we use our own software? Do we use that internally? So yes, I eat my own dog food. I do
Yes,
this.
you eat your own dog food. Good.
I do this
That's
every other day, if not as many times a day as I can.
that's really cool. And this is something you can do. You do in the morning, or you can do it when you're feeling low energy, or it's just kind of a quick, pick me up.
Yes. So you can do it first thing in the morning. In high performance studies, they've done is a lot of times we're at work. You want to take a break between an hour to an hour and a half because that resets our brain. This is all
Mm-hmm.
neuroscience stuff, okay? So this is very, very cutting edge. So if you want to get more productivity in your life, set an alarm either on your computer or on your watch every hour to every hour, an hour and a half, take a 5 minutes break.
Okay.
Because what that does is it resets our brain, and resets our the pace. Because oftentimes we're just like zone in, and after you zone in, you're just kind of like you're starting to space out. Okay,
Right.
that's where our, if you look at our brain waves, that's where our tolerance, that's where our blockage hits.
Mm.
So you can just get up, do exactly what I just told you. You can go for a quick walk to break things up a little bit, and you're gonna be able to have more focus in your life. Yeah, when you have more focus, you have more productivity.
Wow. Wow. I like that. I'm gonna have to eat that dog food, as you're saying, and give that a shot because I like that. Because I mean, there's times in the day where, yeah, you get low energy. You peaks and valleys, and I've had. I was telling you the story before we started. I I eat a fairly healthy diet, and I know when I should eat and when I shouldn't eat, and I'm fairly consistent about it. But sometimes I'm like, last night I'm like, I want ice cream, and normally I get like coconut ice cream or something like that. But last night I was like, I got Ben and Jerry's, and it was the half baked, so it's had like fudge brownies in it and cookie dough, and I ate way too much of it, and within like 15, 20 minutes I was out cold on the couch. Um, so is there any, thing you can do about that, or is it, besides avoiding the ice cream, before you get started?
Good question. I would definitely not avoid ice cream because that's one of my favorite.
Okay, okay, good, thank you.
I don't eat, all fairness, I don't eat ice cream every day, even though I
Right,
do really enjoy it. But if I ate ice cream, I'll gain my 50 pounds back.
right, right.
And yeah, that would be really not good for me. Um,
It was like a late night craving. We went to the store and it was an impulse buy.
so I totally get it. Typically, what I do is you always have alternatives, right? So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, if you like ice cream, I love my Ben and Jerry Cherry Garcia.
Terry
So
Garcia. Okay.
I'll have that once in a while. But look at the label. See which one has the lower calories. Also, stay away from fake sugar. Okay, so that stuff is really bad for you. Typically, I think like slow churn stuff has less calorie if you will compare the labels. So eat that instead. So these are all alternatives. Now, the reason why when you eat ice cream, let me explain it this way from a medical perspective. The reason why your body goes into hibernation after you eat ice cream is because there's a reason why our body's at 98.6 degrees. Okay? When we eat cold, like ice cold food, it takes a lot of energy to heat our body up, to heat that whatever we're eating up, to digest. So in order to keep our body at homeostasis, it zaps all the energy away from us.
Hmm.
So to remedy that, this is not the best remedy. It's a good workaround. Again, it's a band-aid. Okay, doesn't mean that you can go out there, eat a ton of ice cream and just do this. All right. So everything in moderation. So after you eat ice cream, I suggest you guys drink a glass of warm to lukewarm water.
Hmm. That's a good idea
So
because
that
that's going to heat that up to get you. Okay, I see the psychology behind that.
so you'll still have the great taste of ice cream. At the same time, you'll be able to heat that part up. So it's not as harsh on your body.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So we talked, they gave us a great way to boost some energy and a remedy for the ice cream. But what are these, what are these energy zappers? Like what are the things that can just zap energy out of us, and sometimes we don't even know what they are.
Yes, very good point. Now, you guys just knew how to generate your own energy. It does you no good if you don't know how to contain it. So my metaphor is like, if imagine you have a tire and you have a hole in your tire. No matter how much air you pump into it, you're always going to be running flat. And when you're running flat, it's going to tear up your car. It's going to tear up your body. It's the exact same thing. Okay. So here are the top 3 energy zappers that you should be aware of, and just really have that awareness and really make a difference and do a change in your life. So number 3, and order of importance, number 3 is what I call breathing. Okay. So when you're stressed out, do you breathe? Like how would you
Mm.
breathe when somebody's stressed out? Do they breathe
They're
full?
they're low, slow, shallow breaths.
Right, exactly. So how about when somebody's angry? Do they breathe fully? Or
Fast, shallow breaths.
right, exactly. How about when somebody's in fear?
Mm,
So once
yeah,
you
same.
understand
The
that,
kind of,
this is the neuroscience part, right? So once you understand that, we can unlock it. Because Josh, like you're, you know, there might be people who grew up from North America. Doesn't matter if you're from Africa, if you're from Asia, if you're a different ethnicity. We're all wired the same way because we're just at the end of the day we're people. So
right,
once you understand that, it's like having a computer manual in front of you. But when we're born, nobody ever gives us a manual. So once you
right,
understand that, you can unlock it. You can unlock your own human potential. Okay. So when we breathe, when we don't breathe fully, we lose out on the energy, especially
mm,
when we're stressed out. Now, the only key thing is, first step is you have to cultivate awareness to know when you're stressed out. And chances are, if you're biting your teeth, and if your jaw is really really tight, if you have tense neck and shoulders, if you have tight lower back, if you get headaches, those are all key signs of stress. And if
oh
you don't
wow,
take care of that stress, yes, if you don't take care of that stress, it could be carried on to chronic illness, chronic diseases, chronic pain. You ever heard that saying? 99% of all diseases come from stress.
right,
A good friend of mine, I was just having lunch with him yesterday. He said he's going through a really bad time in his life. His uncle passed away, and literally in front of him, and he just realized when his uncle passed away, it was the same day as his mom's, passing, exact same day,
hmm,
and he just felt really bad. So he was out for an entire month. He's a real estate agent,
wow,
and this is a peak time for real estate. This is the peak season, and he couldn't work, okay, because he was so stressed out, and he has ulcers, and he couldn't get out of bed. That's how bad it was.
wow,
Yeah. So when we do these specific exercises, not only we're calming our nervous system, we're also boosting our energy at the same time.
hmm.
So it's very important to breathe. So I like to invite you guys to stand up tall, take a nice deep
We're
breath
gonna
in
stand
through
up
your
again.
nose. No, no, no. Just bring
Okay.
your shoulders back. Okay. Nice deep breath in through our nose. Nice deep breath out. Okay. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. One last round. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. Yeah, so quickly feel your energy level. Just by doing that, it was very different from 5 minutes ago, wasn't it?
Yeah,
You
getting
guys
a
feel
lot of
calm?
healthy work today. I didn't expect this in the interview.
Generally, my interviews are very hands-on. Yeah,
Okay, it's good. I like it. I like it. It's very good.
it's more interactive. So
Yeah,
notice your energy level right now. So I feel pretty even keeled.
me too.
Why is
Yeah.
this? Why is this important? As a leader, if you're a manager, if you're a leader, or even if you're a parent, you know, when everything's going crazy around you, does it help the situation if you react? If you go crazy yourself, you start yelling, you start blaming people. Does that ever help with the mission? Does that
Right.
ever help with
Generally,
the
no.
goal? It
Yeah.
doesn't, right? Try when your kids are yelling. If you have kids, try yelling back at them. Try
Right.
control.
It just escalates the situation.
It gets worse
Yeah.
and worse, right? So when we can control our own mind, when we can control our own thoughts, just by something as easy as breathing, we're able to create some space, create some distance in between them, and we're able to see the bigger picture.
That's really a good thing to remember. I mean, I know it's so easy to get caught up in the moment. If you're stressed out by something or whatever the reaction is for something going on, and just to go pause. You almost have to remember pause and am I breathing? My shoulders are crouched forward. I'm not taking in enough air, and if I could just breathe, and like what you're saying, those heavy emotions, the fear, the anger, the anxiety, the frustration, overwhelm. Um, a lot of those could just be overcome by just breathing a lot of times, right?
Yes. And let's dive in deeper.
Yeah,
Okay. You guys are ready? This is more of the advanced stuff. Would you guys
I'm
like
rubbing my
more?
hands together again.
Let's talk about the theory behind it. Okay. So in traditional Chinese medicine, different parts of our organs hold different emotions. Okay. It's not until recently Western doctors were able to break this up. The book is called The Second Brain, where they realize we have 40 million uh, cells that's just very similar to our head, our brain cells, in our stomach lining, whereas our brain has about 10 million. Now, we all notice, fundamentally, we all notice, we just forgot about them, okay? Because everything is very intuitive. You ever heard the saying, the gut feel?
Right,
That's your intuition, right? I don't know about you. Have you guys ever got your heart broken in a relationship?
right, right.
Heartbroken. Where do you feel it? You physically feel it in your heart. So,
Yeah.
our heart carries the passion. It also carries the hurt. Our lungs carry the inspiration. It also carries the grief, right? Because,
Mm.
have you ever like accomplished something that you never thought you could? What is the first thing you do? You go, look, I had to breathe
Ah,
fully. Like that's our lung. Same thing when we're in grief, when we're sad, when our girlfriend broke our heart, we go, right? Again, that's our lung. So when we,
yeah.
again, going back, if we know how to change our breath, we know how to move a certain way, we can let go of that emotional toxin.
Hmm.
And when we let go of that emotional toxin, uh, it keeps our body healthy. It, you know, what fosters diseases? If you look at nature, eh, do you get more mosquito in a running water, or do you get more mosquito in a pool of dirty water?
The standing water, right?
The standing water, right? Because it
Yeah.
fosters all diseases. Same thing in our body. If you look at body, 80% of our body is made out of water. If
Mm.
we have stagnation in our body, that fosters diseases. Especially for the men, we carry in our heart, in our thorax, right? In Latin, thorax is shield. Right? When we get heartbroken, we have a tendency to put on the shield, and when you put on the shield, it blocks out the bad people, but it also blocks out the good people.
Mm. It's very interesting.
So when we open up our hearts, when we open up our lungs, we live fully. We live presently. And ladies, don't you guys love it when we are present with you? Instead of when you're talking to us, we're on this iPhone. Yes, dear. Yes, your dress looks great.
Right, right. That's one of my number one pet peeves. I just felt,
Exactly.
if we're in an interaction, let's be present with each other. Like,
Exactly.
you and I showed up together. Let's communicate that. I think that
Yes.
gets lost
Yes.
a
Absolutely.
little bit.
All right. So I
Very
dumped a
cool.
lot of information on you. So here's the thing that I go by. So the other thing to care about, to wanting you to know about, is water. Now we all know the importance of drinking water because it hydrates our body. Nobody ever taught us when to drink water and what temperature water to drink. Going back to that ice cream thing. Okay. When we go to a restaurant, when we sit down, what is the first thing that the waiter brings us?
They give you icy cold water.
Icy cold water. It is so bad for you. Okay.
Mm.
Uh, when we drink water with a meal, it dilutes the enzyme in our body. The enzyme process starts from our saliva and also from our gallbladder. And Western doctors are like, yeah, gallbladder, we don't really need it. We'll just cut it out. That is part of your lymph system. Okay, the function of a gallbladder is to create these enzymes to break down your food in your body. Okay, especially if your diet is not so great, like you eat hamburgers, McDonald's all the time, okay, you need your gallbladders to be functioning correctly because you need to get all the waste and toxin out of your body. Because we just covered if your body becomes stagnant, what happens? You get colon cancer. You get all different types of cancers.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So make sure when you eat a meal, avoid drinking water. You can take a little sip of it. It's okay. Drink water half an hour before your meal and half an hour after your meal. So not during. Okay, and then Josh, you mentioned the second thing. In the water, we have all these ice cubes circling around, right? So same thing like the ice cream. When we drink ice water, our body has to maintain homeostasis, so it zaps the energy away from us.
Mm.
So drink room temperature water, if not lukewarm water. If you guys are public speakers, if you guys are singers, avoid drinking hot water or hot tea with lemon. You know that, like, people say, like, if you have laryngitis, if you lost your voice, go drink hot water with lemon or add some honey in it.
Right.
That is really bad for you because
Mm.
if you guys know Roger Love, he is Tony Robbins' coach. When he lost his voice, he goes talk to Roger Love.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is when we drink hot water, it irritates our larynx here, so it's going to compound the problem. So again, just drink warm water, if not room temperature water.
With the lemon or without the lemon?
You can add a lemon in there.
The
It's
lemon
good
works,
for
but
correct.
it's not. It's just not the hot. You're
It's
saying
just the
more.
temperature. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
in life, it's not about two extremes, right? Not too cold, like not too hot. So somewhere about balance in between. So
Right.
the number one thing, if you guys don't take anything out of this session here, the one thing you got to be careful is your posture. When I worked in Silicon Valley, this is my posture. I'm always typing. I'm always sitting in front of a computer. We call this
Right.
the Silicon Valley syndrome. Okay? When we do that, this is so bad for you. Look at my shoulders. No wonder we have,
Right.
chronic neck and shoulder problems. It's this.
Yeah.
Okay. So also, when you compress your spine like this, you're compressing your lungs, you're compressing your heart, your entire organs. And
Mm-hmm.
because of that, your heart has to work a lot faster. It's very taxing on your heart. So that's why it really, literally drains our energy. So here's a demonstration of great posture. Bring your shoulders back, bring your shoulders down. So notice in this state, it's easier for you to breathe as well, isn't it?
It is, and it promotes you to breathe through your diaphragm too. I can feel I'm
Yes,
breathing in my stomach rather than into my chest,
yes.
just by putting my shoulders back like that.
This is how we used to be. This is our normal state.
Right.
If you look at our ancestors, this is how they breathe. And also, why we need to have this type of posture. There's a tribe, kind of segue really here, okay? So there's a tribe
Sure.
in Africa. These are the only tribe that lives alive amongst lions. The only tribe lives among lions, and lions will not dare to touch them. It's because even the women, so it's the entire tribe, because everybody walk around like this. When you walk around like this, you're present. You got full of energy. Like nobody's gonna, you have confidence. That's why the lions don't go after them, with an exception.
Yeah, I was
When they
gonna
start
say. So if
drinking,
I just stand up, no lions aren't gonna bother me.
they're not gonna bother you, with an exception. Okay, when the tribal men, when they started drinking alcohol,
Uh-huh.
that's when the lion had the opportunity to go attack them, because
Not so much
they're slumped
anymore.
over.
Yeah.
And there
Really
are
cool.
numerous studies behind this. So the police retained one of the muggers in New York and trying to analyze his psychology. Like he asked him, why would you go rob this guy but not that person? Why this
Right.
person but not that person? On a subway. And he goes, the reason why I robbed him is because his physiology, his body posture,
Right.
because he doesn't show a lot of confidence. I know if I go in, I can take his money away from him. That guy
Mm.
right there, he has a lot of confidence. If I go after him with his money, I know he's going to fight back, and I don't want to get hurt.
Right.
See the
Right.
psychology behind that?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean that's powerful throughout life. Like if you're maintaining that confidence, that posture, and um, that state, that's a powerful state to be in.
Ladies, let me ask you this. If you guys don't know, believe me. Would you date a guy looking like this? Would you? No, because that guy's not confident. Like you look at the physiology, look at the body language, right? When a guy throws his shoulders back and he's confident, he's walking around. Does that guy seem a little bit more attractive to you? Correct me if I'm wrong. Hey, I'm just a guy.
Right, right. I just a guy too, so I can't I can't speak for that. We'll have to ping the ladies sometime and ask them and but I generally I know that that's true. It's true. Well, it's very cool. I mean, Alan, I think you've come over the top and a lot of this stuff. I mean, I really greatly appreciate a lot of these things. Like, I'm really gonna be able to take some of this stuff and to put it in action. Um, is there you know how can people find out more about you? Like, where can they learn more of this stuff and you know, get in touch with you some more?
Yes, you can go to www.instantenergymethod.com, like on the bottom of the screen here. So again, instantenergymethod.com, by entering your name and email address, where you get my free videos worth $97 on how to boost your energy naturally, identify what is draining your energy, and how do you manage the energy for the long run. You know, one of the things that highly the two people that highly promotes qigong or energy practice is Oprah and Dr. Oz.
Oh
Dr. Oz
wow.
says if you want to live up to 100, do qigong every day, and this
Well,
is
that's
what
a
I'm teaching
commercial right
here.
there to do qigong.
Yeah, it's the alternative of yoga as well. Again, I took me 12 years to study this. And I spent over $85,000. I attended all these different
Wow.
seminars and all these retreats, and I just really honed in the last couple of years. And when I started teaching my students, they feel amazing. And
Wow.
and I'm really honored to be able to share this here with the people out there as well. Because, you know, again, without energy, uh, we can't be present in front of our ladies. We can't be present with our kids. We don't have that focus at work. It really affects us at the entire level. So for me in my life is the reason why I was able to make the top 5% of the U.S. income bracket, because I always look at the one needle mover, the one linchpin, the one tipping point that will make a huge difference in my life. And if I were to say the reason why went from almost homeless to, you know, making top 5% of the U.S. income year over year, and being recognized in the company, not to toot my own horn, but rather I want to share this with you. This is how I did it, and I know that you can do it too.
That's very cool. Very cool. I think you've given an immense amount of value, and I love the, you know, I'm going to be trying that and experimenting that on my own, and you know, the water tip that you shared, I actually that was something that I picked up. That was one of the one things that I picked up out of the first Tony Robbins event that I went to, and I did that a lot, and that radically changed. I mean, it stopped the big crash for me after eating. Like, that was probably the biggest thing that hit, and I know that's a huge tip to just modify and understand that. Is there anything you know, is there anything else you like to talk about, to, you know, something inspirational or something that you'd, you know, like to share that you know, you really want people, you know, our audience to know about?
Yes, it's about giving. It's about paying forward. Um, 2 years ago, my fiance and I broke up. If you've been to Day with Destiny before, Tony says, give your woman the best of your life for 3 months. I did this for this woman for a year. Not only I loved her unconditionally, I loved her 10-year-old daughter. I didn't even know I had to love her stubborn bulldog unconditionally as well, who's flea infested and have like over 60 flea bites. You know what? I'm gonna love him anyways. At the end of the year, all my energy is drained because I wasn't watching. You know, I'm a giver. I give, and everything fell apart. My career fell apart. My relationship fell apart, and my life fell apart. At the time, I was invited to Fiji for Tony's life mastery, and every morning I just taught my energy work, even though I'm really, you know, exhausted. I just, you know, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do a human experience. I'm just gonna go serve and help people out. At the end of the week and a half, this young woman came up to me and said, "Alan, I want to take a moment to thank you and let you know that before coming to Life Mastery, I was really depressed. I even contemplated about killing myself. The only reason why I didn't is because I have these three beautiful daughters. But I just want to take a moment to thank you because you heal me. You know, we hugged and I said, you know, we all have the power within ourselves to heal ourselves. What I ask you to do is just pay it forward. So throughout the entire year, even when I met you at Business Mastery, Josh, is, you know, I was doing intervention with other people because I'm also an advanced NLP practitioner as well. And I asked nothing in return. And everybody that I talked to, I saw bits and pieces of them in them, and that healed my heart. You know, and that's a message I want to share with you. I've gone through depression. I've gone through grief. I was laying in bed. I was crying for over 6 months, and I couldn't get out of bed. But it wasn't until, you know, I realized I was being really selfish. Just go out and serve. Go out and help people. And that'll make a difference in your life. And that's my challenge to you, sharing that gratitude.
Wow, that's a truly, truly, truly powerful message and incredibly inspiring. Um, and yeah, I mean, you never know where the impact that you might have on somebody's life. And you and I, yeah, we've bumped into each other at a few seminars and we've had some conversations and chatted, and I've really appreciated to get to know you a lot more. Um, I think you have an amazing gift to share with the world. Um, are you doing any speaking or what? Are you doing any events or anything like that anytime soon? Is there anything like that you have going on?
It's in its works.
It's in its works. Okay.
Yeah, and I love to have you guys experience and support my cause because my mission in life is to build schools in developing countries because I believe kids are our next generation, the future leaders, and I love to help them. All the stuff that we learn, if the kids would understand that, think about how their life would change, how they can change their community. And that's what I love
Right.
to do: build schools and build hospitals.
Very cool. Very cool. I think you got a really big mission, and if there's any way I can support you on that, I'd certainly love to help. And hopefully, just people watching this will just spread awareness. And so what we'll do is this video will be uploaded to YouTube after this, and I'll put the link to your website, the instantenergymethod.com. I'll put that on there so people can go to your site. Um, is there anything else that I'm missing?
We're good.
I think you covered an amazing amount. I mean, my brain's kind of full with with information.
I threw a lot of information out there. Yeah.
It was good. It was really good. It was incredibly content rich. You didn't put any fluff into it. You just went right into it. You even did exercises, and you got me standing up. So it was a great interview. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for doing this, and thank you for being so generous and contributing so much.
You're very welcome. Right now you're in Denver, right?
No, I'm in Los Angeles. Actually, I'm actually in right now. We're in the Topanga Canyon Hills. We're kind of at a little retreat kind of thing. So we're taking a break from the city life, enjoying nature. We went and hiked. I went and hiked. I went with my dog and hiked Red Rock Canyon yesterday. So we're just getting outdoors and kind of re-energizing that way.
Okay. And you said you're moving up to Hayward pretty soon?
Yes.
Am I
Yeah.
correct?
The plan is to be in place in Hayward in July.
Okay. Let me know when you come up. I live in the Bay Area. I live in San Jose.
Okay.
We can get
Will do.
together, go grab a bite of lunch or something.
A bite of healthy food, is that
Yeah,
energy-rich food?
yeah. Energy-rich food.
Well, here I'm going to stop the broadcast now, but hang around again. Just like to say thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. Have an amazing